Have you ever stopped to think about what truly makes a house a home? It's not just the walls, the roof, or the furniture. It's the smell of fresh coffee in the morning, the sunlight streaming through the living room window, the family photos on the shelves. It's the memories of children growing up, the visits from the grandkids, the good days, and even the not-so-good ones. For many of us, our home is the most tangible symbol of our life story. And that's exactly why so many people dream of growing old in it. But is the home that's always been a safe haven still safe as the years go by? Aging with independence is a genuine desire, and it's more achievable than ever. We're living longer, healthier lives, with more goals and plans, but to keep that freedom alive, it needs a solid foundation. And that foundation begins at home. Sometimes all it takes is a fresh look at our surroundings to notice how small, once harmless details can become silent hazards. A loose rug, stairs without handrails, a poorly lit bathroom, little things that can lead to big accidents. The good news? With a few simple adjustments, it's possible to turn your home into an even more welcoming space, not just beautiful, but also functional, safe, and ready for this new stage of life. In this video, we'll explore how to adapt your home so that aging can truly be an experience of freedom. We'll show you that caring for the space you live in is also a powerful way to care for yourself and to protect what matters most: your independence, your dignity, and the joy of living well in the place you've always called your own. The invisible danger: why your home can become a risk. If your home is the backdrop of your life, it also needs to keep up with the changes you go through. What once seemed simple, climbing a couple of steps, reaching a shelf, walking barefoot across the living room, can, over time, become challenges that put your safety at risk. And the most concerning part is that these dangers often go unnoticed until something happens. More than 70% of falls involving older adults happen inside the home, and most of these falls occur in places that seem harmless: in the bathroom after a shower, tripping over a rug in the living room, or slipping on a wet kitchen floor. The home, which should be the safest place in the world, can become a space full of invisible hazards. These accidents aren't just painful, they can have serious consequences: fractures, hospital stays, loss of mobility, and in some cases, the loss of independence. Recovery can be long, and the fear of falling again often leads to limited routines, social isolation, and a loss of self-esteem. But why do these risks remain hidden for so long? Because we're used to seeing our home through the eyes of someone who has always lived there. We don't notice that the light switch is too far from the bed, that the shower doesn't have a grab bar, or that the front steps are too steep. We usually only realize it when something goes wrong, and by then, it may be too late. That's why prevention is so important. Recognizing the risks isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It means understanding that aging shouldn't be met with fear, but with strategy, and that a safe home is the first step toward preserving the freedom we value so deeply. In the next chapters, we'll show how to identify and fix these hidden dangers with simple, affordable changes. Because true freedom begins when you no longer have to worry about your next step. You just live it with confidence. A new perspective on aging: autonomy with safety. While aging does bring physical changes and new care needs, it can also be a stage of life marked by freedom, wisdom, and choice. And this is one of the great shifts of our time: understanding that aging is not synonymous with dependence, but rather a new way of living, with more presence, more calm, and above all, more autonomy. But for autonomy to truly exist, it must be supported by safety. It's not enough to want to be independent. The environment must make it possible. Fortunately, a new generation of older adults is showing that it's possible to live well, live alone, keep a routine, make plans, and stay active, as long as the body and the home are prepared for it. And that doesn't mean being surrounded by excessive care, but rather making smart choices. Adapting the home is not an admission of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of wisdom. It's about preparing the ground so that freedom can flourish peacefully. It means starting the day with a slow cup of coffee. No rush, no fear of slipping or stumbling. It's about showering without worry, moving from room to room with ease and confidence. This new perspective on aging is more than just possible. It's already a reality for many, and it can be yours too. In the next few minutes, we'll explore practical solutions, what can be done, room by room, to turn your home into an ally of your independence. Because autonomy doesn't fade with age, it grows with care. The adapted home, how each room can support your freedom. When we think about safety, we often picture bars, locks, or barriers. But in reality, safety can take a different form, like a well-lit bathroom, a thoughtfully designed bedroom, or an accessible kitchen. The secret lies in the small details that make all the difference in daily life. In this section, we'll go through each room of the house with a careful and attentive eye, highlighting key points that can offer more freedom, peace of mind, and well-being, without sacrificing beauty, functionality, or comfort. Bathroom, the silent villain. The bathroom is, without a doubt, the most critical room when it comes to safety for older adults. Wet floors, bending down or standing up, and lack of support make this space the leading site for household falls. But with a few simple adjustments, it can become a safe and welcoming place. Start by installing grab bars near the toilet and inside the shower. These provide stability during vulnerable moments, such as sitting down or getting up. The toilet seat can be raised with a special attachment to reduce joint strain. In the shower, a bath bench is ideal, allowing for a seated and secure experience. The floor should be non-slip both inside and outside the shower area. Loose rugs should be avoided. Instead, choose ones with suction cups or non-slip backing. Lastly, add a nightlight with a motion sensor. Many falls happen in the dark during nighttime bathroom visits. A soft light that turns on automatically can effectively prevent accidents. These changes are simple, affordable, and transformative, turning the bathroom into a space of care and calm, just as it should be. Bedroom. Safety. Where the day begins. The bedroom is where each day begins and ends. That's why it should be a calm, cozy, and safe environment. One key point is the bed height. It should allow for easy sitting and standing, not too low, not too high. This reduces knee strain and lowers the risk of imbalance. Furniture should have rounded corners or corner guards to prevent injuries from accidental bumps. It's important to keep the space between the bed and the door free of clutter, allowing for clear, unobstructed movement. Light switches and lamps should be within easy reach, so there's no need to get up in the dark. A smart solution is to install a remote light control or use a bedside lamp with a large visible button. Avoid using small or loose rugs beside the bed. If you want a soft surface underfoot, choose non-slip rugs with strong floor grip. In the bedroom, emotional comfort matters just as much as physical safety. Small changes in kitchen. Independence with practicality. The kitchen is a symbol of autonomy, making your own coffee, reheating a meal, washing the dishes. But if poorly designed, this space can hide real hazards. Start with functional organization. Frequently used items, plates, cups, pans, spices, should be placed on shelves within easy reach between hip and shoulder height. Avoid cabinets that require a step stool or deep bending. Choose appliances with simple controls, clear displays, and easy operation. Stoves with automatic ignition and ovens with auto shut-off features are great safety allies. Cookware should have ergonomic non-slip handles, easy to grip even with reduced hand strength. The kitchen floor should be smooth and non-slippery. Any runners or mats should be secured with anti-slip tape. Keep cloths and flammable items away from the stove. With these changes, the kitchen remains the heart of the home, now with added safety and independence, allowing every meal to remain an act of care and freedom. Living room and hallways, clear paths for living. The living room is a space for relaxing, welcoming guests, and watching TV. Hallways connect the rooms of the house. That's why clear, safe movement through these areas is essential. Start by evaluating the furniture layout. Is there enough space to walk comfortably and safely? Narrow or cluttered paths increase the risk of tripping. Aim for at least 32 inches, 80 centimeters of clear walking space, especially if a cane, walker, or wheelchair is used. Decorative rugs, while attractive, can be dangerous. If they're necessary, secure them with anti-slip tape or replace them with factory-made non-slip models. Lighting, both natural and artificial, should be abundant. Dark hallways, especially at night, pose real risks. Motion sensor lights with a soft glow are very helpful. Outlets and controls should be at accessible heights, avoiding the need to bend down. Sofas and armchairs should have sturdy armrests to make sitting and standing easier. Avoid overly low or deep cushions. With a few adjustments, the living room can go from a potential obstacle course to a welcoming space for relaxation, social connection, and free movement. Stairs and entryways, a safer step. Forward stairs and even small steps can be major hazards in the home. If they can't be avoided, each step must be made as safe as possible. Install handrails on both sides of the staircase, extending the full length with a firm and comfortable grip. Choose non-slip materials and make sure the height is appropriate for steady support. Apply visible anti-slip tape to each step, ideally in contrasting colors, to increase traction and mark where the stairs begin and end. If your home entrance has uneven levels, consider ramps with rubberized, non-slip surfaces and gentle inclines. Whenever possible, replace steps with smoother gradients. Entry doors and access hallways should be wide enough to allow safe passage, even for wheelchairs or walkers. These changes not only support the person living in the home, but also make visits from family, caregivers, and healthcare professionals safer and easier. Technology as an ally. Comfort and safety in your hands. When used wisely, technology can be a powerful ally for comfort and safety in aging. There are now simple, affordable tools that increase security without compromising privacy. For example, fall sensors connected to a caregiver or family member's phone can send alerts in emergencies. Video doorbells, two-way audio cameras, and smart locks can offer peace of mind to those living alone without taking away their independence. Voice-activated virtual assistants are a quiet revolution. Simple commands like turn on the light, call for help, or remind me to take my medicine make everyday life easier. Most importantly, the use of technology should always be consensual and respectful. The goal is not surveillance, but support. With balance, technology becomes less of a barrier and more of a bridge between safety and freedom. The role of the family. How to support without overstepping. Caring for someone we love is a noble act, but when it comes to aging parents or close relatives, that care must be accompanied by something essential: respect for their autonomy. Often, children or family members want to help and end up making decisions without asking, imposing changes, or acting out of fear. Even when these actions come from a place of love, they can lead to discomfort, resentment, and even resistance. The key lies in balance: supporting without overstepping, guiding without controlling, helping without infantilizing. Open communication is the first step. Ask questions like how do you feel about this? Or what would make you feel more comfortable at home? Listening is just as important as suggesting. The process of adapting the home should be done with the older adult, not for them. This increases acceptance and reinforces their sense of belonging. Avoid phrases like, "You have to change this or you'll fall," or "This house is too dangerous for you." Instead, try something like, "We can make your daily life easier with a few small changes, without taking away the things you love." Positive language opens doors where fear tends to shut them. Also remember, autonomy is not the same as isolation. Even if someone chooses to live alone, they still need connection, contact, and meaningful relationships. Encourage social gatherings, activities, regular visits, and phone calls. Emotional connection is a vital part of feeling safe. The role of the family is to be a partner in building freedom with safety, not to act as a guardian. And that role is much more beautiful and effective when it's rooted in dialogue, listening, and trust. In our next and final chapter, we'll explore why adapting the home is not just a matter of safety, but a true act of love and care for both the present and the future. More than safety, adapting the home is an act of love. We've reached the end of this journey with a simple but powerful message. Adapting the home for aging is not just a practical decision, it's a form of love. Love for oneself when an older adult chooses to invest in their own well-being and quality of life. Love for parents when children take the time to listen, to understand, and to help transform the home into a more welcoming space. Love for life when we choose to remain active, present, and in motion, even if that looks a little different now. Of course, change isn't always easy. Aging brings challenges, losses, adjustments, but it also brings clarity, time, and the opportunity to live with more intention. Every change made in the home, no matter how small, is a reminder that living well at every stage of life is both possible and worth pursuing. Installing a grab bar, switching out a rug, adding motion sensor lighting, these aren't just safety features, they're symbols of care. They're ways of saying, you matter too much for your freedom to be at risk. More than adapting the house, we're adapting our mindset, replacing fear with prevention, overprotection with trust, rigidity with listening, and above all, recognizing that dignity begins at home. When our environment embraces us, the body relaxes, the mind feels at ease, and the heart finds space to keep dreaming, even with silver hair. Adapting the home, then, is not just an investment in safety, but in hope. A tangible way to affirm that growing older can indeed mean freedom, choice, and joy. And if this message resonates with you, whether for yourself or for someone you love, let it inspire action. Because caring for the home is, at its core, caring for life.